Fairly steady in Asia today. The euro got a lift yesterday against the dollar but failed to break through the 1.2589 resistance level. EU President Van Rompuy said after meeting with Spanish Prime Minister Rajoy that the Eurozone is ready to act on short notice to aid Spain, hinting that funds for the country's banking sector could be granted as soon as possible. Meanwhile, the common currency was also given a boost by a solid bill auction in Spain. While all markets await the Jackson Hole Symposium in the United States, focus will temporarily be on the Italian bill auction today as the Treasury is set to sell up to €7.5 billion in 6-month bills. A successful auction in Italy could pop euro, US dollar through the mentioned 1.2589 resistance. Elsewhere, Bank of England MPC member Posen urged the Fed, the European Central Bank and the Bank of England to act together in a targeted way. Posen said Bernanke should announce more quantitative easing at the Jackson Hole Symposium this Friday, and he believes that another round of stimulus could be very effective. He noted that the US has still got mortgages to restructure, and buying and selling securitized mortgages is the main way they can affect this. Regarding the ECB, he said that targeting Spanish and Italian debt would be the right thing to do, and he urged the ECB to stop the panic in the sovereign bond market. Regarding the Bank of England, he said that starting the quantitative easing program earlier could have made a difference to the outcome for the British economy. Bank of Japan Deputy Governor Nishimura urged central banks to stimulate growth using unconventional measures as they are facing enormous challenges, particularly those in advanced economies. And options for traditional monetary policy have been exhausted. He noted that while central banks are pursuing the most unconventional policies ever imagined, there is still room in this direction for further easing of monetary conditions to support the economy. He said that Japan's low-interest loans to banks for lending to innovative growth-oriented areas are intended to be a catalyst for financial institutions willing to lend to various private sector initiatives that attempt to overcome structural headwinds and will enhance potential growth in the medium to long run. He saw the UK's Funding for Lending scheme having a similar objective. As for today, the Swiss KOF leading indicator is expected to be unchanged at 1.43 in August. The German Consumer Price Index preliminary reading is expected to rise to 1.9% year-on-year in August. Canadian Industrial Product Price Index and Raw Materials Price Index will be released. U.S. second quarter GDP is expected to be revised up to 1.7% annualized growth in a secondary reading. Pending home sales are expected to rise 1% month-on-month in July. The Fed will also release the Beige Book economic report. Euro, US dollar daily outlook. Intraday bias remains cautiously on the upside for the moment, with the focus on the 1.2589 resistance. A break will confirm the resumption of the rebound from 1.2042 and should target 1.2747. Below 1.2465 will bring more consolidation. But after all, as the pair is trading well above near-term rising trend line, now at 1.2372, a rise from 1.2042 is still expected to continue. In the bigger picture, a fall from 1.4939 is treated as a falling leg inside the consolidation pattern that started at 1.6039, the 2008 high. A bullish convergence condition in the daily moving average convergence divergence raises the possibility of reversal. But we'd prefer to see a sustained break of around the 1.2747 resistance zone to give us more confidence. In such case, a stronger rise should be seen to the 1.3486 resistance for confirmation. But before that, another decline could still be seen to 1.1875 and below.